leaving it vacant. I just go harder, harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This my world, my life.
It is a chilly night here in the northeastern U.S., but we've got some football to keep us warm at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the New Orleans Saints and the New England Patriots. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Patriots take over. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down just inside the 10, back at the 9. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle. But they allow the conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Jones. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0. looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that... And he will score! Touchdown, Patriots! Corey Davis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Pats will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. There's Chris Olave. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's Olave bringing in another one. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass in just under 20 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Patriots, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And with the playoffs ahead, this is how you build momentum because they pitched a shutout last week, and I don't care who you're playing. That's not easy to do at this level, and they're playing their best football at the right time of year.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. 6-0 our score after 1. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And the deficit will stay at 2 field goals.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on them, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Throwing, Jones. This is Smith with a grab. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. It'll be a big loss on the play there. An absolute disaster, really.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is caught. It's Davis. Touchdown, Patriots. Corey Davis, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's a give up the middle. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Judon coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later, hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Jones.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that could be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there.
His 12th rushing touchdown on the year,
as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. We know, but let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
This is intercepted.
Marcus Jones picks it, and the Patriots are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away.
And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And it's intercepted. And the Pats are going to take possession here at their own 33. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And here's a handoff out of the gun. 40 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Right back to him on first down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Jones now on 3rd and 2. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd and 2, Jones. And this one complete to Smith. And he will have a Patriots first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
And even 100 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. The slot man in motion right. Now Jones from the gun on 3rd down toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
This from 25 yards out.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back. The
Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to air one out. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Patriots force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hands it off out of the gun. And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, they've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. A big play there for New England, and even 50 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Jones on third down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the three, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 16.
114 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Davenport racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll set up a throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They're going to look to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back in his own 3-yard line.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Pats are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And they take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Patriots,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 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 I hope y'all can nest double E, cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can STOP. Can I make a scene like a movie feeling